The fact I'm loading all of these books up on me and this isn't even everything because I can't fit them all. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So as you can tell by the title of today's video, I am doing another massive book haul, except this time instead of buying them all at once, this is accumulated over a couple of weeks. So this is more of a collective book haul. And if you follow my TikTok, you've probably seen most of these books in my little mini book haul videos over on there. So little self plug right now, go and follow my TikTok. I'm literally almost at 10k as I'm filming this video. So yeah, these books have accumulated over a couple of weeks. It's very unhealthy. I'm probably actually going to put myself on a book buying ban in October because the amount of money that I've spent on books in the past couple of weeks is just insane, and I genuinely have no money left in my bank account. And literally out of all of these, one of them was gifted from an author, so I literally bought all of these with my own money, which is so bad, but there is some really good books in here, so I'm very excited about it. Okay, so I'm going to start with the books I'm most excited about that I actually unboxed before. So little backstory, I have only read Acotar and Acotar from the Acotar series, and they're the only books that I've read from Sarah J Maas. I really want to read Throne of Glass as well. I want to read all of that before I read Crescent City, but I did buy the Crescent City hardcover books because they are gorgeous and I know they're not really going to be in print anymore. That being said, I don't know if it's the paperbacks that are not in print anymore or if it's the hardcovers as well, but I just had to get them because I was scared. So I got A House of Earth and Blood and A House of Sky and Breath in these beautiful goddess, god like style covers. These are now the prettiest books that I own. These are the prettiest books that will be on my bookshelf. I'm literally going to display them. It'll be a while before I actually get to these books and get to reading them unless I go on like a Sarah J Maas binge, but I am really excited to have these. So this one was $50 and this one was $30, which is kind of really expensive, but also they are hardback, so I'm kind of like expecting it a little bit. So let me just show you the inside. There's like a goddess on the inside, and then behind the book sleeve is just like white, red, and then gold like writing. And then for the second one, it's like this picture of a god, and then it's a navy blue cover with gold detailing. So these are just absolutely stunning, and I'm so glad to have them in my life, and I'm so glad that they're not damaged because I was worried that Amazon would damage them. The next book I have is Brutal Prince by Sophie Luck, which is the first book in the Brutal Birthright series. So I have no idea what this is really about. All I know is that it is a fantasy, and a lot of people love Sophie Luck's writing. They say she's an amazing writer, so that's why I bought it. Australia's been releasing some really popular good books in bookstores recently, which is not good for my bank account, but I am really excited that I got my hands on the first book in this series. The next book I have is Pucking Around by Emily Rath. So this is a hockey romance, and I don't think I've actually ever read a hockey romance. I know, don't come at me. This will be my first hockey romance read, and I'm very excited to have it. It is really thick, but at the same time it's giving me like Lucy Score vibes. Like, I don't know what it is, like the cover or the thickness, but I feel like I'm really gonna like this when I actually dive into it. The next one we have is The Witch is Back by Sophie H. Morgan. So funny story, I actually bought this a couple of days ago, and I forgot that I entered a giveaway for this on TikTok a couple of weeks ago, and I actually won the giveaway this morning. I emailed them and I was like, thank you for like choosing me to win, but I actually bought it the other day, so unless it's like a signed copy, I'd rather you give it to someone else so they can enjoy the book instead, because I don't want to have two of the same book on my shelf. It just seems a little bit greedy. So yeah, I'm really sad about that because it's the first giveaway I've ever won, but that's my own fault for entering and then buying the book, so that's just a little bit silly. But yeah, I am still really excited that I have this on my shelf. The next one is The Murder Rule by Dervla McTernan. So I don't really like the cover of this book at all. Like, it's kind of ugly in my opinion, but I actually picked it up and read the back of the book, and that's what made me buy it. They think I'm a young idealistic law student, that I'm passionate about reforming a corrupt and brutal system. They think I'm working hard to impress them. They think I'm here to save an innocent man on death row. They are wrong. I'm going to bury him. So it sounds like a book about a little bit of revenge, which I really like, and it's called The Murder Rule, so I'm assuming it's like a bit of a murder mystery as well. The next book I have is A Wish for Us by Tilly Cole, which is the author of 1,000 Boy Kisses, which literally broke my heart into a million pieces. So I'm kind of scared for this book. I don't even know what it's about, and I don't know if it's going to be a heartbreaking book, but I'm scared to read anything from her now after reading 1,000 Boy Kisses. And I also found out recently that she writes dark romances, which is kind of really unexpected, but I'm I'm definitely going to go into one of those soon. The next book I have is actually a non-fiction book. So I have My Body by Emily Ratajkowski. I probably said that completely wrong, but it's just a really thin book and I kind of want to read some more non-fiction books, so that's why I bought it. Okay, the next two books I bought to finish off a series, so I bought Legendary and Finale by Stephanie Garber. So this is the second and third book in the Caraval trilogy, and I read Caraval in September, which you will see in my September wrap up when the time comes, but I didn't really like it that much. I wasn't as impressed as I thought I would be, but everyone told me to continue the series and that it gets better and to try the other books, so I will be finishing off the series. That's why I bought them. The next book I bought was actually off Facebook Marketplace, so I bought People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry. So if you don't know, in Australia we have this cover instead, and I do own it but I can't be bothered getting up to get it. It's called You and Me on Vacation in Australia, and apparently the ending is slightly different between the two books, which will be interesting to read the endings to see the difference, but I just don't like our cover, and when I saw the chance to get the US cover I was like, yep, I've got to get it. So I paid $5 for it and then $10 shipping. It is a little bit damaged, but that being said, it was technically $5, so I kind of could expect a little bit of damage to the book. The next book I have is Last Chance Books by Kelsey Rodkey. So I saw someone put this in a TikTok of like really cute romance reads, and the cover just drew me in straight away. I absolutely love it. It is so adorable. So I think it is about two people and they kind of own like rival bookstores across the road from each other. That's what I kind of got from the back of the book. And then one's a guy, one's a girl. They probably fall in love through all of this drama, and I'm here for it. I cannot wait to read this book. The next book I have is Hooked by Emily McIntyre. This is the first book in the Never After series. I actually own Wretched, but I haven't read it, and I know they're like interconnected standalones, hence why I brought one in the middle of the series, but I don't think I've ever watched Peter Pan, so that's why I probably need to watch that before I read this book, because this is a Peter Pan retelling and it is a dark romance, and the point of these books is so the villain gets their little happily ever after. So I'm really excited to jump into this series actually, because I've heard amazing things about it and I always see Alexa Ray talking about them. Okay, the next book I have is Priest by Sierra Simone. So this is another dark romance actually, so it's obviously like a religious dark romance type of book. So I'm not a religious person at all. I never have been until like being around my boyfriend's family because he's Greek. So it'll be really interesting to read something like that. I feel like maybe some stuff will go over my head a little bit and I won't understand, but I am really interested because I know like the rules around being a priest are really strict. So it'll be interesting to see what this story entails considering it's a dark romance. The next book I bought was 19 Steps by Millie Bobby Brown. I actually didn't even know this was a thing until 2 days ago when someone commented on my TikTok asking if I was going to read it, and I was like, I don't even know what that is, but when I saw it in store I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna buy it and give it a try. It is apparently ghostwritten, which, you know, as I said, you can kind of expect that. I kind of feel like it's a bit of a money grab for her to write a book. I don't know, it just like seems kind of random, but apparently it's her grandmother's story of a really tragic story that happened to her during World War II, so it's actually based on a true story, and it's not something that I would normally read or pick up, so I'm really interested to see if I actually like it. We'll see what my review on that is. Okay, the next two books I bought secondhand the other day. I went to like 5 secondhand bookshops and only got 2 books because they all had the same like old style type of book, so that's really disappointing, but I got these for like $3 each, so it's pretty good. So I got Genuine Fraud by E. Lockhart. I don't even know what this really is. From like the blurb, which for some reason is on the front page, it seems like a little bit of a murder mystery, which I always love, and it's the same author that wrote We Were Liars, which I did really enjoy. I know a lot of people don't like that book and there's very mixed reviews on that book, but I liked it, so that's why when I saw the author I just bought this book straight away, and the cover's really interesting as well. And then I bought Beartown by Frederick Backman, which is also secondhand. Don't really know what this is about, but I know this is the same author that wrote Anxious People, which I also have on my shelf, and I think a lot of people love his writing, so I think that this will be a really beautiful story, hopefully. Then we have Light Lark by Alex Astor. So I remember when this author was writing her book, she would post about it all over TikTok like a year or 2 ago, and I was always so intrigued by this book and so excited to order it. When it came out, it had such bad reviews, like everyone was giving it such like bad ratings, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna cancel my pre-order on this. It was a really expensive pre-order and I was like, no, like if it's gonna be bad, I'm not gonna read it. But I've been seeing it everywhere in stores recently, and it is a hardcover as well. So I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna give it a try and, you know, make my own rating for this book. And it does seem to have better reviews now than it did at the beginning, so maybe it was just a bunch of like people trying to bring her book down. Next I have Vicious and Vengeful by V.E. Schwab. So I don't even know what these are about, to be honest, but I saw Rachel Catherine talking about Vicious a couple of months ago and she said she loved it, and I think it's like very different to what I'd normally read, but I feel like I'm just gonna go into it blind and see if I like it, because her book reviews are normally pretty accurate to what I like as well. And then also by V.E. Schwab, I got The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue in a special hardback edition. So I haven't actually read this book, but I saw this and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna buy it because I might never see this like beautiful edition again. So I know a lot of people love the story and say it's a beautiful story, so I feel like I will like it when I read it. I just realized I'm really getting all of these books in the way of my video, but yeah, I'm just gonna show you. So in the inner and back covers there's these beautiful pictures and artwork, and then the actual book itself has like these silver flowers and writing on the side. Absolutely beautiful. Such a like pretty hardback without the sleeve on it. And then in the middle of the book it also has a lot of like artwork pages, which I won't show you all of them. They are really beautiful as well, and I'm really excited to read this. Like looking at the artwork has made me more excited to read this book. The next book I have was the book that was sent to me from an author. So the author's name is Sherry Story and it is an indie author. So she sent me her book called If Hearts Didn't Break, and it is a part of a series. So apparently this is the third book in the series, which I only noticed before. But that being said, on Goodreads it doesn't actually seem like they are really a series and more like interconnected standalones, but I'll have to check that with her before I actually read it. But it is like literally a 200-page book, so it's going to be so quick and easy to get through, and it is a small town romance, so I feel like I'm just going to eat this up, and I'm really excited to read this as well. I have Belladonna by Adeline Grace. This is such a beautiful cover. I wish I had this in a hardback because I feel like this cover in a hardback would be so pretty. And to be honest, I don't really know what this is about either. I just know that it is a fantasy and the second book just came out recently, but I've only heard of the first book recently, so that's why I only bought the first one. I am really excited about this because it's such a beautiful cover and I'm just very intrigued to find out what it's about. Assistant to the Villain by Hannah Nicole Myra or Mayra. I saw everyone unboxing this that they got from publishers and I was literally getting such bad FOMO because this looks so cute, and I was like, I'm gonna buy that the second it comes out. And I'm just gonna read a bit of the back because I don't even really know what it's about. So it says, notorious high-ranking villain seeks loyal level-headed assistant for unspecified office duties, supporting staff for random mayhem and terror and other dark things in general. Discretion is a must. Excellent benefits. That sounds really interesting and I'm very excited to jump into this book as well. And then the last book I have for today's haul is Good Bad Girl by Alice Feeney. I read Rock Paper Scissors by Alice Feeney and loved it, and that's the only book I've read from her. However, I'm so excited to read this because I'm definitely in my thriller era, and I'll read a bit of the back for this one as well so you have a rough idea of what it's about. 20 years after a baby is stolen, a woman is murdered in a care home. Two crimes are somehow linked and a good bad girl may be the key to discovering the truth. So that sounds really interesting. I love a good murder mystery, so I feel like I'm really gonna enjoy this. Okay, and that wraps up the end of my video. If you want to see more content from me, I actually have quite a few book hauls up on my channel. I'll try to put some on the screen if I can work out how to link it, otherwise I'll put them in the description for you to go and watch. And please give the video a like if you did enjoy it because it will really help me out and help my channel to grow. But with all of that being said, thank you so much for watching and I hope to see you in my next video.